catches you, there's a house near the edge of town, abandoned for years. But every time I walk past, I swear I can see someone watching from the window. It doesn't matter the time of day. The room's always empty, but I can't shake the feeling that someone's there. I first noticed it on my evening walks. At the end of my street, there's this old, weathered house that's been vacant for as long as I can remember. The paint is peeling, roof sagging, and the yard is completely overtaken by weeds. It's not even particularly big, just a standard 2-story home. But something about it always made me uncomfortable. The windows were dusty and cracked, the doors long since shut tight, and the garden, if you could even call it that, looked more like a jungle than anything once tended to. One day, I happened to glance up at one of the windows on the second floor as I walked by. For a split second, I thought I saw a face, just a shadow behind the glass. I stopped in my tracks, staring up at the window, but it was too late. The face had disappeared. I chalked it up to my mind playing tricks on me. It was getting late, and the fading light always made things look a little off. But then it happened again the next evening. I was walking by the house when I caught movement out of the corner of my eye. There it was, a face at the window, staring right at me. My heart skipped a beat, but this time I didn't stop. I hurried my pace, telling myself I was just imagining things. Days passed, and the same thing kept happening. Each evening as I walked by, I glanced up at the window, and each time there'd be that fleeting, shadowy face always gone. Before I could react, it wasn't until I started walking at different times of the day that I realized something odd. No matter when I passed, the face was always there, just for a moment and then gone. Day or night, the window seemed to beckon. I couldn't get rid of the feeling that I was being watched. It's a strange sensation, one you can't quite explain, but you feel it deep in your gut, like something is lurking just outside your view. I found myself walking just a little faster past the house, casting hurried glances up at the window. One afternoon, after a particularly long day, I found myself walking home later than usual. The sun had set, and the air was cool and crisp. I could feel the tension in the air, as if something was about to happen. I knew I was getting close to the house. My stomach twisted, but I kept my eyes on the ground, pretending not to care. Yet, as I neared the house, I couldn't resist. I looked up. The window was dark, empty. It almost seemed like the house itself was breathing, as if the absence of a face was somehow more unsettling than when one had been there. That's when I heard it, a soft tap on the window, just faint enough to make me stop dead in my tracks. My blood ran cold. I couldn't tear my eyes away from the window. Then, slowly, something shifted within the darkened frame, a silhouette, barely visible, but undeniably there. Someone was standing just behind the glass, watching me. I froze. My heart raced in my chest. I wanted to turn and run, but my legs felt heavy, as if the house was holding me in place, demanding my attention. I watched transfixed as the figure seemed to lean closer to the window, pressing its face to the glass inches away from mine. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. My breath caught in my throat, my eyes wide, locked with the shadow. For a moment, I thought it was just a trick of the light, but then I saw the faintest movement of a hand, as though the figure was reaching out, as if trying to touch me from the other side. That's when I snapped back to reality. I turned and ran, faster than I ever thought I could. My legs moved on their own, carrying me down the street, away from that house, away from those eyes. But no matter how fast I ran, I couldn't shake the feeling that the house was following me, waiting for me to return. The next morning, I woke up, still shaking, the image of that figure etched into my mind. But when I passed by the house again later that day, it was different. It was completely silent, still, and unnervingly calm. The windows were dark, empty as ever. I almost thought I had imagined the whole thing, the face, the hand, the tapping on the window, but something deep inside me knew better. I couldn't explain it, but I knew the truth. The house was alive, watching me, waiting. I tried to avoid it for weeks. After that, walking a different route, staying far away. But every so often, as I walked down that street, I'd feel it again, the weight of unseen eyes. Presence just beyond the corner of my vision. It's been months now, and I've stopped walking by the house altogether. I've even considered moving away from the neighborhood, just to get away from the suffocating feeling it leaves me with. But no matter where I go, I can't forget about it. That house with its empty windows is always there, watching, waiting, and every once in a while, when I'm lying awake at night, I hear a faint tap, tap, tap on my window. I don't dare